Good evening and welcome to I'm Chris Parnell.
Reporting from Moscow
to Tbilisi,
Times Square.
May your dreams be your only boundaries in life.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of GHS-TV's award-winning talk show Crosstalk. I'm your host, Renee Mann. Each week in this time slot, we take a look at different issues, personalities, and events that affect you and our community. Every spring, Mid-South high schools put on musical productions that dazzle and thrill audiences. And each May, for the past 6 years, the best of the best have been recognized for their work on and off stage at the Orpheum's High School Musical Theater Award Ceremony. This week, we're taking a look at the history of the awards and what they mean to high school thespians. Later in the show, we'll be joined by directors of 2 local high school theater programs. But first, let's take a look at the opening number from last year's award ceremony.
join us, leave your field to flower. Join us, leave your cheese to sour. Join us, come and spend an hour or two. Doodly-doo, journey to a spot exciting, mystic and exotic. Journey through our anecdotic review. We got magic to do just for you. We got miracle plays to play. We got parts to perform, hearts to warm, kings and things to take by storm. As we go along, we got magic to do just for you. We got magic to do just for you. We got foibles and wriggles to portray as we go along.
Joining me now is Lindsay Crossness with the Orpheum Theater. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
The video that we just saw showcases some of the amazing talents we have here in our local high school theater programs. Ms. Crossness, how did the musical awards come about?
Well, we wanted to expand our educational programming at the Orpheum, and with the Orpheum being the local presenting Broadway house, it seemed like a natural progression to highlight high school musical theater. So that's where we started in 2009.
And you allow high schools from all around the Mid-South to participate.
We do. We have high schools within a 100-mile radius, which makes our program really unique in terms of the other programs across the country. We are really a regional program. We have high schools from Arkansas, Mississippi, and Tennessee that participate.
There are really 2 sides of the awards, acting and technical.
Yes, we feel strongly about promoting and encouraging theater on both sides, and it's always interesting to hear that debate amongst students as to, you know, what's more important, the performance or those that make that performance happen. But we felt strongly about encouraging technical theater, stage management, sound execution, set design, costume design.
What are the requirements to be a part of this program?
Well, you have to be part of an established high school, like I said, within a 100-mile radius. You have to submit a musical that you've secured the rights to present. And other than that, we're pretty flexible and open to who participates.
Well, the award show itself is modeled after the Tonys.
Yes.
Ms. Crossens, could you walk us through the ceremony?
Well, it takes a lot to get to that night. It's a year-round process where this year we have 34 high schools that are participating, the most we've ever had. So throughout the year, the high schools present their musicals. Judges from the community go out and see them, and then we get to a nominations process, which happens in April. And then from the point of nominations coming out until May 26th this year, we are in rehearsals and prepping music and prepping students. So, but we do try to make it very much like the Tonys. We roll out the red carpet, everyone gets dressed up, and it's just a great night for celebrating.
The Memphis Orpheum Awards are a part of a national musical theater competition. How do you offer students the opportunity to compete nationally?
As part of the national program, which is operated by the Broadway League, we are able to send the lead actor and actress who win at our local program to New York to experience a really intense week of choreography, vocal work, acting, coaching from professionals that are currently on Broadway. So, and that week culminates in an actual performance on the stage of the Minskoff Theater. So those two students are able to make their Broadway debut, so to speak, that night.
So what else can students get out of this experience that they have at Jimmy Awards?
In terms of nationals, they are meeting 60 other students from around the country in different programs who are equally as talented as they are and coming from all backgrounds, all walks of life. So it's a tremendous opportunity to network. Probably those folks that are there that week with them are going to go on to become future Broadway actors, actresses, stage managers, what have you. So it's a great opportunity to establish that network and go forward.
Do any of these students get opportunities for scholarships for college?
There are there are 6 finalists chosen that night on at the Minskoff, and the finalists received $2,500 in scholarship money, and the 2 winners received $10,000 in scholarship money.
Well, this is something that all thespians look forward to each year. Well, we have a video that showcases some of the students talking about what it means to them to be a part of these awards. So let's take a look.
Great.
Ice cream. He brought me ice cream. Vanilla ice
My favorite memory of high school theater experience, and with this show especially, was when I got to sing I Don't Know His Name with Best Supporting Actress nominee Grace Martin. And never before in my high school experience have I had someone connect with me on stage and with a song as she has in this specific character and show, and I thank her for that and for this whole entire experience.
Here I go, and there's no turning back.
Musical theater is meaningful to me because it's just a great way to tell a story through song, and I just think that's one of the greatest things about theater.
I wrote you a letter, how I found the spelling bee such fun.
I was 8 years old, and I went to go see The Lion King with my uncle in Maryland. The curtains opened up, and music started playing, and you hear the yeah. That moment just was like, I want to do that. That is awesome.
Oh, when it's your wedding.
People that aren't fans of musical theater often say, what's realistic about singing and dancing for no reason? But I think that there is a reason, because it's just this perfect way of taking what's in here and what's in here and really, giving a visual element of what's going on inside of us.
'Cause love is what I do.
Before musical theater, I was always kind of living in a shell of like, you know, I have to make sure everyone else is happy before I can be happy. And for the couple hours that I get to be on stage each night, I mean, I get to go and transport myself into this completely different world.
You're a hero fighting dragons, winning wars. Be the hero, and the world will soon be yours.
Ms. Crossness, what goes through your mind when you hear students reflecting on the awards like that?
Well, I love to hear it. The students in this program, it keeps me going. It's why I love going to work each day. Just the energy and the passion that the students have, and what we love is they become a part of our family. From the first year ongoing, we keep in touch with them. We watch them grow, and it's just a great experience for all of us.
And you actually get to travel with them to the national awards.
I do. I am actually the chaperone for the week, and so I get to, while I'm not actually in rehearsals with the students, I do sort of get to experience. I'm basically the bag carrier and the water supplier is what I do all week. Make sure they're fed and stay hydrated. So.
Ms. Crossness, let's talk about the adjudication process. Okay. So how do you select the judges, and what qualifies them to judge the awards?
Great question. So the judges are from the Memphis community, and each have their area of expertise. And so we have some that are sound designers, we have some that are performers and have been performing in and around Memphis for years. We have some that are directors and have their masters in directing. So various disciplines, but we try to have a very good balance amongst the judges as far as what they're most able to speak to. And we work very hard to make sure that they do not have a connection to any of the local schools. So that's tricky in this community, but we try to make sure that, you know, there's no room to lean one way or the other, but go in objectively.
What are the judges looking for?
Well, that's a tough question. They, of course, look for ability and talent vocally, in terms of choreography, character work. They really want to see that cast members are connected to their character and understand where their character is coming from, but also they look at the whole process. You know, what has a school done with the resources that they have? And have they made the most of it? Have they stretched a little bit and maybe gone outside of their comfort zone? So, but they really look for a collaborative effort, and in hopes that it will be a teaching. So many of our judges say it was a teachable moment. They learned a lot in that process, so that's what they're looking for.
In regards to preparation towards the awards, things will be a little different this year with the opening of the Halloran Center.
Yes, we are so excited to have the Halloran Center next door to the Orpheum. It will allow us to hold rehearsals for the awards days earlier than we would normally be able to do. And we actually have a space, a rehearsal hall in the center, that the dimensions very closely mirror the dimensions of the Orpheum stage. So we will, for instance, rehearse the opening and closing number in the Halloran Center and be able to transition it easily over to the Orpheum stage.
Well, we're all looking forward to this year's awards ceremony. Ms. Crossness, thank you so much for coming on the show today and talking with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's time to take a short break, but when we return, Chris Luter, theater director at Cordova High School, and Ashley Williams, director at Germantown High School, will join us on set. Stay with us. Welcome to Germantown High School, an international baccalaureate creative and performing arts optional school, a destination school for students who are going places.
Our students are of the highest caliber when it comes to their academics and knowledge.
The IB program is a very rigorous program.
You were challenged in a way that you thought you couldn't be challenged. You succeeded, something that other kids may not have thought they could do.
They're accepted to colleges that are just, dream colleges for so many people.
Germantown High School offers a CAPA program, the Creative and Performing Arts program.
When I first came here, I saw the television studio and I was just amazed at what all I saw.
Kids do everything, that they're taught every detail that has to do with theater arts and creative arts.
I love a lot of things about Germantown High School, but primarily what I love is the athletics. There's something exciting around every single corner.
We probably are one of the most diverse high schools in the state of Tennessee, maybe the United States.
I would never doubt about sending your child to Germantown High School.
This high school is something not like any other high school that we have.
There's definitely fun in the work. We find fun in everything we do.
Welcome back to Crosstalk. I'm your host, Ranimi Mam. This week we're discussing the Orpheum Theater's High School Musical Awards. Before we get to our next guests, let's take a look at the acceptance speech and performance from last year's winner of the Outstanding Overall Production Award.
And the award for Outstanding Overall Production goes to Cordova High School, Avenue Q.
Wow. Thank you, Orpheum, for hosting this thing. Thank you for this amazing group of kids who make it worth every hour we're up there. Thank you to my administration for giving us the trust to do challenging theater, letting us step outside the box.
I'm coming.
Oh my God, it's Gary Coleman.
Yes, I am. I'm Gary Coleman from TV's Different Strokes. I made a lot of money that got stolen by my folks. Now I'm broke and I'm the butt of everyone's jokes. But I'm here, the superintendent of Avenue Q.
It sucks to be you.
You win.
It sucks to be you. I feel better now.
Try having people stopping you to ask you, what you talking about, Willis? It gets old. It sucks to be you.
On Avenue Q.
Sucks to be me.
On Avenue Q.
Sucks to be you.
On Avenue Q.
Sucks to be us, but not when we're together. We're together here on Avenue Q. We live on Avenue Q. Our friends do too. Till our dreams come true. We live on Avenue Q.
This is real life.
We live on Avenue Q.
You're gonna love it.
We live on Avenue Q. Here are your keys. Welcome to Avenue Q.
And joining me now are Chris Luter, musical director at Cordova High School, and Ashley Williams, musical director at Germantown High School. Thank you both for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having us.
Mr. Luter, as we just saw, Cordova won Best Overall Musical last year for Avenue Q. Mm-hmm. What was it like hearing Cordova's name announced as the musical for the year?
It was great. I was really excited for the kids, all the hard work they put in and everything. It was the third year in a row we've been nominated, and it was kind of fun to see it all, especially the kids who had been there all 3 years, to watch their growth and their excitement when they heard their name called.
What did this win mean for you and your students?
It just validates what we do, that it's worth the time and the effort, and yeah.
Well, Ms. Williams, you're no stranger to the awards yourself, having won multiple awards for your work at Germantown and Briarcrest.
Correct.
How do students mentally prepare for the awards?
You know, I always tell our students that the awards are great, and I think what the High School Musical Awards has done to, just like Mr. Luter said, to validate the arts and everything that theater does for this community, I think it's great. But I also try to tell the students that that's not where the success is, that I think all of the shows that enter, I think are successful for the fact that they have done a show, that they have seen it through, they've done the rehearsals and everything that goes along with it. So the awards are just the icing on the cake.
Why do you think it's important to have the High School Musical Awards?
I think it gives, I think sports and other things at schools have things that they're a part of that the community sees that are bigger than that. And I think the High School Musical Awards have just brought recognition to the work that all of these kids put in. We rehearse for 8 weeks and 5 days a week, sometimes 6, and they deserve to have that recognition.
It's also built a tighter community between the students. Before, you hear your students talk a little bit about the other productions, but now my students are always going to say, this school, we saw what they did, we saw what they did. And then when they get to the Orpheum, even the students who aren't nominated or who are still there, they know each other. So there's this great camaraderie has been built in the, 7 years since the program was started.
So, Mr. Luter, you would agree that this is healthy competition?
Well, I think so, especially when you focus that it's not a competition, it's more recognition of what you have done.
Aside from seeing their peers, what other opportunities do students get out of this experience, Ms. Williams?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is for the best actor and best actress. If they win that category in the evening, they go to New York. They compete in a competition that's, students from across the United States, and they perform on a Broadway stage. And from that, they can win scholarship money and, of course, just recognition being there in New York.
Mr. Luter, do you have anything to add?
It's also, when you're a little kid, you're like, I want to perform on the Orpheum stage. And, to hear the kids who are either in their school production or in that opening number, which has students from every school that competed, to just give them that chance to, they've seen the professionals up there, and now they're one of them up there.
Well, I'm sure you're both familiar with the Halloran Center and its recent opening next to the Orpheum. Well, we know that for the first time this year, it'll be incorporated into the High School Musical Awards. How do you think opening educational opportunities such as the Halloran Center impacts our theater community here in Memphis, specifically for the high school theater students?
I think it's given. I think one of the things that they're trying to do, which I think is so wonderful, is so many times we see the performers and the actors, and they get so much recognition. And I know they've already started so many technical theater workshops and things now that the Halloran Center has opened. And I think it's just going to open the doors for all students, whether you're on the stage, behind the scenes, to be a part just of the educational side of theater and what you can gain from it.
And it's great just to have more space down there. I know I've always laughed at the opening number. They'll perform on stage and then they'll go rehearse in the lobby. And so it's kind of, there's more room, and that week of rehearsals at the Orpheum won't be so everything's squished together into those 3 days. There's a little more room to breathe there.
Because it's a lot of students.
And more room for growth also.
Well, you both have extensive amounts of theater backgrounds in many areas. So how do you think community theater compares with high school theater?
Community theater has its place, and so does the high school theater. But the thing that sets them apart is that we're here to teach our students and to educate them. Where I think community theater, there's definitely part of that, but it's a performance. And for us, we want to see them grow and to succeed, to fail and pick themselves back up. And it's much more of a process, I think, that you get in the high school theater setting.
Mr. Luter?
I think process is the right word. That it's the students start here and they may not make it here for opening night, but they'll make it here. And so that's what we're aiming at. Where the community theaters, they're looking for something, a polished product. I think it's product versus process.
Well, this year's musical season is starting to ramp up. Mr. Luter, what can we expect from the Wolfpack Playhouse?
We're in rehearsals right now for the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and that opens April 7th. So we've got a little bit of time. We're just now into rehearsals. So.
And how about the Papa Pike Playhouse?
We are getting ready to open The Little Mermaid, and we open February 25th and run through March 12th.
So what do you both get out of the experience of working with high school students?
It is, to me, that's why I do what I do. I absolutely love, just kind of like we were talking about with the growth of a student, but to see them start out, like in The Little Mermaid, there's a lot of tap dancing in a certain number that the seagulls do, and they couldn't tap at all week one that we started. And to see them grow and to be able to take on something like that and to improve weekly, it's just an incredible thing to watch them start out with something they had no idea they could do, and prove to them that they had it in them all along.
Mr. Luter?
It's always different. Every day is different. Then it's a different route to take to that end every day. That process is different for your different students, and that's what makes it interesting. I tell people who, they say, you teach, how do you do that? How do you deal with the kids? I said, I couldn't teach math because 1 + 1 is 2 every day. But we can have the same problem, and every student's going to find a different route to that solution. And with the arts, you can do that, and it's not that strict route that we have to take.
Did you start out wanting to teach theater?
I was originally a math and computer science major in college, and after Calculus 1 in college, I knew that wasn't me anymore. And so I was going to change and I was a theater minor at the time, so I was going to change my major. And then one of my professors made a comment, and we chatted, and I decided education was the route I wanted to go. So about my junior year in college, I decided I wanted to teach.
Well, Ms. Williams, Mr. Luter, thank you both for coming on the show, and we wish you good luck in April for the nominations.
Thank you.
And we hope you're able to see some of the wonderful musicals hitting high school stages around the Mid-South. Again, thank you to all my guests for being on the show today. Remember, Crosstalk can be seen each week at 9:30 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Mondays, 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. Thursdays, and 7:30 p.m. on Sundays. For more information on our programming, please check us out on the web at GHS-TV.org, where we're streaming live 24 hours a day. You can also check us out on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Renee Ma'am. From all of us at GHS-TV, thank you for watching Crosstalk, and I hope to see you again.
Now is the time to seize the day. Stare down the odds and seize the day. Minute by minute, that's how you win it.